Somebody once told me the world.
Let's film a review! Book review! Much better. Alright. Ooh, oh, that's so harsh. Alright, I think that's better. We start that intro. Book review! Alright, today we're reviewing a book titled Book Review. Well, that's not what the book's titled. Today, we will be reviewing a book titled Castle, How It Works by David Macaulay. This is a level 4 book, so if you guys are not on the level 4 reading level, click off of this video. You do not belong here, okay? Just stop. Go away. Alright? Did I spell review wrong? Hey Siri, how do you spell review?
There are two words pronounced like that. R-E-V-I-E-W or R-E-V-U-E.
Thanks. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. I don't care. A note from David Macaulay. Macaulay? Whatever. Dear reader, when I was a kid, I did not like to read. But if a book had pictures, I would try to read it. The pictures made reading more fun. They helped me understand what the words meant. Words and pictures are still my favorite way to read the story. They're also my favorite way to tell a story. The castle in this story is like the ones I visited when I was young. They were built in a country called Wales. Spelled W-A-L-E-S, not W-H-A-L-E-S. We're not talking about the sea creatures here, guys. You immature fiends. I grew up in England, so we did not have to go far to see them. There are many kinds of castles in the world, but these are still my favorites. David M. I'm just gonna abbreviate his last name to M. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Dear parents and teachers, beginning reader books like the one you are holding have long served as the portal through which children can be lured into the world of words. The most successful of these use illustration to support the hard work of learning to decode text. But children are not only learning verbal literacy, they are learning visual literacy as well. They learn to read pictures, to pick up clues that may help them infer meaning and add depth to the words. All the topics chosen for the books in this series are non-fiction. Non-fiction, guys, these are true stories. Whether they are historical or contemporary, from the natural world or the man-made, these topics reflect things that we know children are interested in and curious about. Since these books are intended to stimulate both visual and verbal literacy, information is conveyed in both art and text. To support the reader's curiosity, at the back of the book there is a glossary, a list of suggested books and other media, and an index. It is my hope that these books will connect future citizens with their increasingly complex planet in a meaningful and creative way. If I've done my job well, you will enjoy reading and looking to. David M. The castle stands high on a rocky hill. It has tall towers, thick stone walls, doors of wood and iron, and a wide moat. There is no welcome mat. People cannot just walk into a castle. The castle is built to keep people inside safe. It keeps other people safely outside. Are you a friend or are you a foe? If you are a friend, you must first climb a steep ramp. It ends at a wooden drawbridge. The drawbridge crosses the moat. You are now facing the outer wall. It is called the outer curtain. You walk towards the first gatehouse. A tower stands on each side. Guards decide who can come in. They watch everyone very closely. Welcome, friend. When you get past the guards, you are still not all the way in. There's another wall in front of you, even taller than the outer curtain. It's called the inner curtain. It is an even bigger gatehouse. You guessed it, more guards. The inner curtain has a high tower at each of its four corners. Guards can see for miles from the tops of these towers, and they can shoot in every direction. At last! You are deep within the castle. Welcome to the inner ward. This courtyard is a lively place. Horses are fed in the stable below the barracks. Soldiers are playing game. The blacksmith makes a new horseshoe. The blacksmith's children are chasing the chickens. The cook builds a big fire in the kitchen. The cook's helper draws water from the well. He must water the garden. The dog gets a drink too. The lord and lady live in one of the high towers. The walls of these rooms are painted. Fresh herbs are tossed on the floors. This makes the rooms smell. A spiral staircase goes all the way to the roof. Guards keep watch from the walls and towers day and night. The ground floor is filled with dried food and barrels of wine and cider. Beneath the ground floor is the dark, dank dungeon. They smoke at night. The chapel is in another high tower. The priest is one of the few people in the castle who can read. The roof above the chapel collects rainwater. It flows through a pipe into a tank and then all the way down to the kitchen sink. The guards stop to use the toilet. Listen, can you hear his teeth chattering? He sits over a hole cut into a stone slab. Below the hole is a shaft that goes down to a pit. The knight uses hay for toilet paper. The largest building in the inner ward is the Great Hall. The Great Hall has fireplaces in the walls. It has tall windows to let in light. Servants arrange tables and benches. They put out wooden bowls and spoons, but no plates. People will use thick slices of stale bread for plates. The Great Hall will soon be ready for dinner. If you're a foe or an enemy, you will not be let in. To capture the castle, you will have to surround it and wait. This is called a siege. A siege stops supplies from getting into the castle, but you'd better be patient. Remember all the dried food in the towers? And don't forget the water in the well. An army may surround the castle, but the people inside can last a long time. Excuse me. Are you in a hurry? You'll have to get past the town wall first. Bring on the battering ram! The chapel is in another high tower. The priest is one of the few people in the castle who can read. The roof above the chapel collects rainwater. It flows through a pipe into a tank and then all the way down to the kitchen sink. The guards stop to use the toilet. Listen, can you hear his teeth chattering? He sits over a hole cut into a stone slab. Below the hole is a shaft that goes down to a pit. The knight uses hay for toilet paper. The largest building in the inner ward is the Great Hall. The Great Hall has fireplaces in the walls. It has tall windows to let in light. Servants arrange tables and benches. They put out wooden bowls and spoons, but no plates. People will use thick slices of stale bread for plates. The Great Hall will soon be ready for dinner. If you're a foe or an enemy, you will not be let in. To capture the castle, you will have to surround it and wait. This is called a siege. A siege stops supplies from getting into the castle, but you'd better be patient. Remember all the dried food in the towers? And don't forget the water in the well. An army may surround the castle, but the people inside can last a long time. The battering ram hangs by chains inside a wooden shed. You swing it back and forth. It hits the wall hard. If you make a big enough hole, you can crawl through it. Now, you can open the gatehouse doors and let your soldiers in. But soldiers inside can see you coming. Guards remove the supports from under the drawbridge. One end flips up, the other end drops down. No more bridge. You can wheel in a catapult. It looks like a giant wooden spoon. You can fire at big, heavy rocks. You can also fire smelly, germy, dead animals. Fire! Whoosh! Pigs away! Perhaps you can build a ladder to scale the outer curtain. Wait until dark. You might get as far as the inner gatehouse, but SLAM! The portcullis crashes down behind you. You are trapped. Guards above drop rocks and hot water through murder holes in the ceiling. If you do get through this gatehouse, there are many more soldiers waiting. They patrol the battlements along the tops of the walls and towers. Archers will greet you with flaming arrows. It is no use. Your men are brave and willing to fight, but in the end you must give up. You did your best, but the castle is too strong. The dungeon is now full. The rest of your army disappears into the woods. Words to know. Archer. Someone who shoots with a bow and arrow or crossbow. Barracks. A building where soldiers live. Battering ram. A heavy wooden beam or log that is rammed against enemy walls. Battlement. The top of a castle wall. Blacksmith. Someone who makes and fits horseshoes and mends things made out of iron. Catapult. A weapon used for firing things over castle walls. Drawbridge. A bridge that can be raised and lowered. Dungeon. An underground prison. Foe. An enemy. Gatehouse. A fortified entryway often protected by a portcullis. Inner curtain. The high wall around the inner ward. Inner ward. The castle courtyard. Moat. A deep ditch. Outer curtain. The wall around the outer part of the castle. Outer curtain. The lower wall around the outer part of the castle. Portcullis. A heavy grill or gate to close off a gatehouse. Siege. Surrounding a castle to make those inside surrender. Spiral. A pattern that winds around in circles. Alright. Excuse me. So I filmed the review, right? Filmed the review and never did an outro. Not outro, but I never actually reviewed the book, never gave it a rating. So as you can see, I cleaned up my work area. And alright, on to the rating. Oh, there it is. Alright. I would rate this book Castle, How It Works by David M. I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. It is informative and educational. It is a terrific read. It's got pictures. That's 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars, 4 out of 5 fingers. Got it? Educational. Informative. Fantastic read. Pictures. All around a good book. I would highly recommend it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you have something to say about this video, give me a comment in the comment section down below. And if you like all of my content, or if you're just judging my content off of this one video, just subscribe. Be pretty A-okay of you. That would be very cool beans. So yeah, just